Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahma Vidvaram Satgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Fourth verse, Maneesha Panchakam. I think it can go a little louder. Yatiriyang naradevataabhirahamityantasputa gruhyate yadbhasa hrudayakshadeha vishaya bhanti svato chetana tam bhasyaih pihitarkamandala spurtim sada bhavayan yogi nirvrutamanaso hi gururityesha manisha mama. After elaborating the four Mahavakyas, some feedback. I don't know if my ears are more sensitive. I can hear it more. After elaborating the four Mahavakyas, Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji takes up a topic which is very, very dear to all of us. Next verse, verse number 5 of Maneesha Panchakam, is an elaboration on the last line of verse 4. What is the last line? Yogi nirvrita manasaha hi guruhu iti esha manisha mama. Nirvrita manasa means one who has accomplished the supreme most purpose of life, one whose mind is abiding in that knowledge. That is the meaning of the word nirvrita manasaha. So how many types of yogis are there who are able to revel in this? What are the different types of Sukham that a person can experience? At what levels they are? That is elaborated in the fifth verse. So if you want to coin a title for the fifth verse, it is called as Ananda Mimamsa. Discussion or elaboration on happiness. Different layers of this yogi is pointed out. What all things one can do to be happy in life. Let us see the fifth verse now. Yat saukhyam budhile shale shata ime shakradayo nirvritaha yacchitte nitaram prashantha kalane labdhva munir nirvritaha yasmin nitya sukham budhau galitadhihi brahmaiva na brahmavid yah kaschit sasurendra vandita padah nunam manisha mama yat saukhyam budhile shale shata ime nitaram prashantha kalane labdhva munir nirvritaha yasmin nitya sukham budhau galitadhihi ब्रह्मैव न ब्रह्मवित् यः कश्चित् स सुरेन्द्रवन्दितपदो नूनं मनीषा मम. We all are seeking happiness in life, but if somebody asks us a pointed question, define happiness. We are seeking Sukham, but if somebody says, define what is Sukham. So it is said there can be 3 levels of Sukham. One Sukham is when everything in my life is conducive. Situation outside is very favorable. Situation outside is very conducive. Then we make the statement, I am happy. We cannot deny this fact. Whenever everything is conducive, the situation outside is conducive, at that time we feel, I am happy. The situation outside, the Sanskrit word is Paristithi. Paristithi. Now somebody says, how best can this Paristithi be? What can be the supreme most situation where there is no trace of sorrow because of outside world? He says that Paristithi can be as great as Bhagwan Indra. Swargaloka, the king of Swarga is Bhagwan Indra. His Paristithi, the supreme most situation anybody can strive for. No sorrow because of body, no sorrow because of anything outside. Plenty of resources, very little competition. That is indication of Swarga. In Manushya Loka it is opposite. Lot of competition, limited resources. But in Swarga Loka, everything is in plenty. And here we have to do karma to get bhoga. There you just have to do sankalpa. Because karmas are already done, result of good karmas takes that person to Swarga. That is option 1, conducive Paristithi. Option 2 is, if somebody can become independent of objects, not have dependency on objects, just take care of mind. They have the statement, right? Man jeete jag jeet. Win your mind, win the world. So if somebody can take care of this mind, make it very, very calm, very, very quiet, that person also can experience great Sukham. The first one came from Paristithi, second one comes from Manasthiti. A very calm mind, composed mind, that is the second way of being happy. What are we discussing? What is Sukham? First Sukham is from Paristithi, everything conducive. Second Sukham is from Manasthiti. When mind is peaceful, mind is calm, even without too many things outside, this person can be happy. Third Sukham is Swasthithi. Swasthithi means abiding in nature of Atma, which is Sukha Swarupa. There is no object involved, there is no thought involved. When we let go of objects, let go of everything which is drishya, what remains, that is Sukha Swarupa Atma. So Atma is Ananda Swarupa. That is the third definition of Sukham. First definition was Paristithi, second was Manasthiti, third is Swasthiti. Now the question is, are there 3 independent sources of Sukham, or is it one Sukham getting reflected in other 2? Is Paristhiti Janya Sukham different, Manasthiti Janya Sukham different, and Swasthiti Janya Sukham different? Vedanta says Ananda is only Swarupa of Atma. There are no multiple sources of Ananda. That Shuddha Chaitanya alone is Ananda Swarupa. What we saw in first verse as Putatara Samvit. Ya tiryang nara devatabihi aham iti antas puta gruhyate. That aham, pure consciousness, is not only Chaitanya Swarupa, but it is also Ananda Swarupa. Whenever mind is calm, that Ananda becomes available to us. Whenever mind is calm, that same Ananda becomes available to us. Otherwise, Goswamiji says, Asa Prabhu Hrudaya Achata Abhikari Tadapi Dina Dukha Jiva Dukhari. Means although this Achata means Nirvikara Prabhu is present in everyone's heart, but still this Jiva is Dukhi. And he says, through devotion, that Ananda which is Swarupa Ananda becomes manifest in the mind. If mind can be quietened, it can be removed of anxieties. It can be free from anxieties. In that calm mind, my own Swarupa which is Ananda, that gets reflected in this Shanta Chitta. Third one is Paristithi. Now this is the most difficult part. Whenever we interact in the world, whenever we interact with a person, and we have a good sambandha, good relation, we felt very happy meeting that person, felt very happy buying that object. Vedanta will ask the same question. Did that person give joy? Careful, huh? Did that object give joy? Yes, really speaking, that joy also has come from Shuddha Chaitanya. Only thing what happened was, mind was by default calm. Then one desire came. And it started shouting, started, again and again, reminding of something. That I really want this to be happy. Without this, I am not happy. Whatever that desire could be. What was it yesterday? iPhone 14. 14s. That is how the whole industry works. See, we didn't have desire for iPhone 20 years before. So these are called as induced desires. These are not natural to us. We never had so many desires what we have today 20 years before. They have come with time. All that it would do is, it will make us feel that our life is incomplete without that thing. And finally, when the object is gained, that thought of desire is quietened. That thought which was so restless, which was again and again bothering, that thought is quietened. In that quiet mind, glimpse of that Ananda Swarupa Brahma is available. Although for a momentary time span, it's not permanent. Again, some other desire will come and take over. So even with situations, even with objects in the world, happiness really belongs to pure consciousness. So 3 layers are pointed out. One is Paristithi, second is Manasthiti, third is Swasthithi. This verse of Maneesha Panchakam is elaborating each of this in one line. The first line is Paristithi Janya Sukham. How can one be happy in life? With conducive situations. You see the verse? Yat saukhyam buddhi lesha leshata ime shakradayah nirvrutaha. Nirvrutaha it should be. Shakradayah nirvrutaha. Meaning what? With a drop of happiness from that consciousness, even somebody like Indra Bhagwan is content. Shakradayah. Means his happiness also comes from that same consciousness. But where is it coming through? He says through situation. The most conducive situation a person can have is that of Indra, as far as external world is concerned. He says even somebody like Indra, his Sukam also is from the same Chaitanya. But how did he attain that position? He says through dharma. It was not through any other means. Through dharma he was able to go that far, and that gives him Sukham. Through Paristithi, no doubt, but really speaking it is Atma Sukham only. If you dismiss this Paristhiti Janya Sukham totally, we will find it hard to relate to Vedanta. Because we know if we have a conducive family environment, if we have a conducive work environment, everything is Sukham. And Vedanta doesn't say that Sukham is not something we should strive for. Vedanta says, remember that even that Sukham is coming from Atma, and the way to generate it is dharma. Bali Raja, this is what Bhagavan Vishnu told him. Indra has become Indra because of his satkarma. And dharmasya prabhu achyutah. The one who protects this dharma is Bhagavan, so it is my responsibility to give him Sukham. I can give you something else, but I cannot take away his Sukham. So Paristhiti Janya Sukham, we all need. But the only question is, where are we seeing the source even of that Paristhiti Janya Sukham? Ananda is Swarupa of Atma. Through dharma, situation is created. That same Ananda is available to me through that situation. There is one chapter in Panchadashi, Brahmanande Vishayanandam. Means even Vishayananda is really speaking Brahmananda only. If mind is agitated, that Brahmananda is not available to me. So this is the first one. Now second one is Sukham through mind. If somebody can develop a very beautiful mind, that person is a yogi. He will also enjoy, in fact, much greater Sukham than Indra. That is the second line. Yat chitte nitaram prashantha kalane. Prashantha kalani means very, very quiet and a calm mind. His chitta is prashantha. Yat chitte nitaram prashantha kalane labdhva munir nirvritaha. That person is a muni who puts forth efforts to get such a mind. It will not happen naturally. Some munis, they will go into deep forest, come out only once in 15 days. To save sufficient for 15 days. And what is their main thing they are striving for? This kind of chitta. That chitta which is pure and very, very calm, in which this ananda is reflected. World probably might not understand them. World might ask, Paristhiti Janya Sukham is much greater. Why don't you come? Why don't you enjoy this Sukham? He says, you are not understanding my Sukham. That Muni will say, world doesn't understand their Sukham. In a Prashantha Chitta, independent of objects, that person can be happy. Goswamiji says, this same kind of Chitta can be cultivated through devotion. Because we are not going to do any kind of yogic practices, extreme yogic practices like those munis do. Go into the forest, withdraw, quieten the mind, and then have this ananda available to us. He says, cultivate a devoted mind. That mind itself is capable of reflecting this joy. Means loving God unconditionally. loving Bhagwan unconditionally, that kind of mind can reflect this Ananda. You all must have heard that bhajan, Halaravai, Dularavai. There one line comes, Jo Sukha Sura Amara Muni Durlabha, So Nanda Bhavini Pave. That is this line, huh? That Sukam, which was not available to great Rishi Munis, that Yashoda ji got through devotion to Bhagavan Krishna. So somebody who can create that chitta through devotion, that same Ananda is available to him in that mind. Swarupa Ananda only, huh? But it is available through the mind. Now, because there is no dependence on objects, this Sukham is more long-lasting. Paristithi Janya Sukham, we know how many triggers are there which can disappoint us. And mind keeps rating situations, like how we have stars, right, in those apps. How many stars do you want to give? Like that, every Paristithi, this mind will keep rating. Oh, this place was very good. Person was very good. Object was very good. And only when it gets 5-star all the time, it says, I am happy in this situation. Hasn't it happened so many times? You have gone to a place. Place is perfect. But something is not perfect with sambandha. Sambandha means friends or whatever you take. Somebody has to go somewhere, you have to go somewhere, and you have some discussion around where should we go. Now that vacation, what we have gone for, that has so many uncertainties as triggers. So this sadhaka is somebody who says, I cannot depend upon Paristithi too much. Dharma he does. Through that he is getting Sukham through Paristithi. But he says that cannot be my only source to hold on to. So he is working on his mind also, and Sukham through mind is relatively independent compared to Paristithi. That is why you see great devotees, if you see what they have materially, they should have been the most unhappiest people in this world. If material possessions were directly proportional to happiness, Kabir Das Ji would have been the most unhappy person. And even his job was what? He was weaving blankets. Sometimes you talk about job satisfaction, finding the best profession according to our aptitude. All of that is good. But our scriptures also say, if we can develop a beautiful mind, that mind is really happy. Now you might say, what is the definition of a beautiful mind? We keep using this word. In study group also we discussed so much. One whole session we discussed on beautiful mind. Or even this Prashantha chitta, right? Quiet mind. Quiet mind in Vedanta doesn't necessarily mean mind with no thoughts. Quiet mind in Vedanta doesn't mean mind with no thoughts. Prashantha chitta means that mind which doesn't have agitating thoughts. That mind which doesn't have agitating thoughts. Either it is raga, or it is dvesha, or it is lobha, kama, krodha. All of them, the shad ripus which are there, 6 enemies. Desire, jealousy, greed. All of those are things which will bring us out of our ananda. Goswamiji has written one whole section called as Manasa Roga. Just like we have roga at physical body level, he says there is a disease at mind level. And he points out, like all these Ayurvedic terms, he maps it to one vritti. He says pitta is like anger. Pitta is like anger. And then vata, he says it is like greed. You can elaborate it more, why he is doing these analogies, but main thing is, if there is some kind of udvega, some kind of agitation in the mind, that itself is putting us not at ease. So one insignia of a beautiful mind is, through devotion, through dharma, he has trained this mind such that this mind never has agitation about others, never has agitation about world. These vrittis, 6 ripus, he has removed. Ramastuti, this is our prayer to Bhagwan. Mama hrudaya kanjani vasa kuru kamadi khaladala bhanjanam. Bhagwan, inside there are different enemies who are sitting. Not one or two. Kamadi khaladala. Dala means army is sitting there. Please take avatara inside and finish all of them so that I can revel in my own Ananda Swarupa. This is the first insignia of a beautiful mind, devoid of udvega. Second is, there is anukula vedana. Not only there are non-agitating thoughts, but there are also beautiful thoughts that this mind continuously is being given. As though there are waves rising of beautiful thoughts in this mind. That is the second insignia of a beautiful mind. Anukulam vedaniyam sukham. Vedana means to perceive. Anukula means all good thoughts. Either it is about Vedanta or it is about paropakara. Paropakara means, how can I give? In any sambandha, if we enter into grahastha-ashrama, if we join a new workplace, this sadhaka's mind is, what can I give? This is anukula vedana, conducive thought, which will bring lot of joy in due course. What is the first one? No udvega. Second, this is insignia of a beautiful mind. First one is no udvega. Second one is anukula vedana. All beautiful thoughts are rising. At the same time, mind is very, very alert. Jagruta chitta, that mind is very alert. These are 3 insignias of a beautiful mind. The main thing is, in Vedanta, Prashantha chitta is not sunsan chitta. Sunsan means blank. If we try to do it, we'll constantly struggle with this mind. Not that we are trying to initiate more and more thoughts. We are trying to get a mind which is non-bothering. Actually, healthy body also, this is the definition, right? That which doesn't remind us of its presence. Right? That much is good enough, that is a healthy body. One small backache, no matter how much Vedanta you study, you keep saying, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect. This is that you will do later. Right now, something else is bothering. And it is true. Paristithi, if it is demanding, we will have to take care of it at Paristithi level. But not making that as the final goal. Three things we saw of Prashantha Chitta, and the way to reach there is devotion. We want Sukam in life, but how to do it, these verses are opening up more. So for Paristithi it was Dharma. For Manasthiti it is more of sadhana. Sadhana, bhakti, all of that, whatever we are doing, it is to create that kind of a mind. If you want a litmus test, right, of whether whatever work I have done, is it in line with Karma Yoga spirit? Is it in line with whatever Shastra is telling me to do? It is there are some checks, litmus test. After doing it, we should observe the state of mind. Any karma, after doing it, we should observe state of our mind. If possible, we should also observe while doing it. While doing it, how it appears. After doing it, how this mind is. And before doing it, how this mind was. If it is something which is nishiddha, if it is some adharmic thing, it is said even during sankalpa time, there is lot of doubt. Because Bhagwan is sitting inside, that inner voice will always keep stopping us. No matter who that person is. This is how Ratnakara becomes Valmiki ji. That conscience alone is so overpowering sometimes that it can bring the person to the right direction. So before doing something, there will be doubt if it is some kind of adharmic action. While doing that action, there will be agitation if it's an adharmic action. And after doing that action, there will be regret. On the other hand, dharmic actions, before, while and after, all three places there will be Prashantha chitta. Even before doing that action, there is Prashantha chitta because it's a beautiful mind. It is not having too much of insistence on a particular outcome. While doing that action, because there is dharma, because there are beautiful thoughts, anukula vedana is there. And whatever is udvega, whatever agitation can come, the 6 ripus, they are removed. So even while doing that action, there is lot of joy. That person is as at ease. And after doing that action, that same mind is prashanta. Puja Guruji had asked us once, we were doing this Vedanta Ramanam planning. Before it was starting, he asked all of us, how will you define success of this camp? How will you define success of this camp? And Guruji told us he would ask everybody, and then finally he would give one line. One thing he said was, if you want to do it again, if you are enthusiastic to do it again, that is one insignia that you have done it well. And second was, during and before, how did we work together? How did we work together? If that is there, the success has come even before that camp. What happened through it? What happened after it? He says main result should be inside. Main result should be Prashanta chitta. In and through that karma, it should bring us this kind of Manasthiti. So this is the second one. The first one was Paristithi, second one was Manasthiti. Third line you see, Yasmin Nitya Sukham Budau. The one whose mind is reveling in that Nitya Sukham. Ambudhi means it's an ocean of bliss. First verse it said it was Nistaranga. Without waves, Sahaja Ananda Avabodha Ambudhi. That is the same one. His mind is abiding in that consciousness, devoid of thoughts, devoid of this whole creation. One who has understood that non-dual truth, for him there is nothing else to see. So from where will Dukkham come? He has negated this whole world to be mithya. That is this jnani, Yasmin Nitya Sukham Budau Galitadihi. What is he called? Brahma eva na Brahmavit. He is not called as knower of Brahman, he is Brahman. Any other object in this world, if we know it, we are called as knower of that thing. If we know music, we are called knowers of music. We call him musician. If we know physics, that person is called physicist. Somebody knows Vedanta. What will you call him? Not Vedantin. Somebody asked Maharaj Ji, you teach Bhagavatam also, you teach Upanishads also. Are you Vishishta Advaitin or are you Advaitin? He said, I am Advaita. I am not knower of Vedanta. I am that thing which is indicated through Vedanta. That who is able to accomplish, that is this Muni, who is abiding in that Ananda Swarupa Brahma. This Ananda only became available at mind level. That Ananda alone becomes available to us through situation. It is just like in this cold weather, we are wearing a jacket, right? Wearing a jacket gives warmth. Where did that warmth come from? Not the jacket. From the body, it's only trapping it in the right place. Otherwise, if you hang that jacket on the closet, it should be warm. Inherent nature of jacket is not heat. Our nature is heat. In the same way, Ananda is not nature of objects. Ananda is not even nature of mind. Ananda is nature of Atma. Aham is Ananda Swarupa. Not knowing that, we end up running in different directions. At the same time, do we not need Ananda at mind level? Do we not need Ananda at Paristithi level? He says, no, we are seeking even that, but with this clear knowledge and through the right means. Ananda at mind level through bhakti. Ananda at Paristithi level through dharma. Values have a lot of power. One value we can hold on to uncompromisingly. That value itself removes a lot of agitations and fear from life. Swalpam apyasya dharmasya. Swalpam, little bit. Trayate mahato bhayat. That will save us from great fear. So all three levels he is able to appreciate and able to abide in. Now the last line. Yah kaschit, whosoever be that person, one who has this Maneesha, that I am this pure consciousness, Ananda is my Swarupa. For that person, Indra Bhagwan comes and washes his feet. Look at the verse. Yah kaschit saha surendra vandita padaha. Surendra means Indra Bhagwan. Indra Bhagwan comes and worships that jnani. Yah kaschit sasurendra vandita padaha noonam manisha mama. This is my Maneesha. Now how will you understand this? Indra Bhagwan worshipping that jnani means whatever Devata could have given as Sukham, that he has already accomplished. Worldly Sukham, whatever we are seeking, the ones who can bless us are different Devatas. There is a story in the life of Vidyaranya Swamiji. He does Gayatri Purascharanam. And his sadhana was so intense that Gayatri Devi gives him darshan. But not right after he finishes Purascharanam, after he has gained knowledge. After he has gained this knowledge, Purascharanam is part of his sadhana phase. When Gayatri Devi comes, Vidyaranya Swamiji says a very famous line. He says, "Oh mother, I am so blessed that you have given me darshan. But whatever I am seeking, I have already attained." He says, because Gayatri Devi says, ask what you want. You started doing Purascharanam for some purpose. What was that purpose? You ask. Vidyaranya Swamiji says, whatever I wanted, I have already attained. That is this verse, Yah kaschit saha surendra vandita padaha. Means there is nothing unattained for him in this world. Everything is attained. Noonam manisha mama. Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji was going to Kashi Vishwanatha temple. He met this Chandala. He started by saying Annamayad Annamayam Athava Chaitanyameva Chaitanyat Dvijavara Duri Kartum Vanchasi Kim Bruhi Gacha Gacheti. One simple question he asked, Bhagwan spoke 5 verses. Bhagwan Shiva in the form of Chandala is saying, speak more, speak more. I am enjoying your verses so much. All your thoughts are beautiful. Bhagwan says, I have to go to Vishwanatha Mandir. 5 o'clock I have started walking. 5 verses are sufficient. What happens after this is actually given in a text called as Shankara Digvijaya. Vidyanand Swamiji has written it. He says, after this, Bhagwan Shiva is in tears. The Chandala who was there, he is in tears and he says, you are somebody who is like Bhagwan Vedavyasji. So whatever blessings I have given to Vedavyasji, same blessings I give to you. And it is that after this point, Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji got clear instruction what he should do in the next phase of his life. So Lord Shiva tells him, go and compose bhashya. Go and compose commentaries. And this commentary will be so popular, even Brahmaji will teach with that commentary. In Brahmaloka also, this bhashya, the elaboration that you have done, that will be followed. This is said in Shankara Digvijaya. I am not quoting the shloka, but this is the essence of that verse. And he says, appoint competent disciples at different places. Yesterday you saw the beautiful play. Different mathas should be established and this knowledge has to propagate. Propagate in the sense, it should be understood in the right way. And he says, after you complete this work, come to my abode, content, for which purpose I have sent you here. Having been content of the purpose because of which you have been sent, with that contentment, you come back to Shivaloka. So with this, our Maneesha Panchakam concludes. We'll chant the first verse just as a reminder. We have to keep reflecting on this again. Annamayad Annamayam and King Gangambuni, that two verses. Annamayad Annamayam Athava Chaitanyameva Chaitanyat Dvijavara Duri Kartum Vanchasi Kim Bruhi Gacha Gacheti Kim Gangambuni Bimbitem Baramanau Chandala Vati Payaha Pure Chantaramasti Kanchana Ghati Mrutkumbhayor Vambare Pratyagvastuni Nistaranga Sahajanandavabodhambudhau Viproyam Shwapachoyamityapi Mahan Koyam Vibheda Brahmaha. This is a reminder that only one reading of Maneesha Panchakam is done. You have to keep studying this text over and over again, just like any other text of Vedanta. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.